Welcome to another episode of StoryForge DM, where we're doing something a little different today. We're going to be talking about Daggerheart. My good friends over at Torchlight lent me their copy. This is my buddy Greg's personal copy, and I've never even looked at this book. First and foremost, art looks pretty neat. I'd say that maybe there's something cool inside. Contents include what looks like a core rulebook, and you've got, looks like a booklet. We'll open, and inside is a whole bunch of different cards. Now, we're going to have to dig into these for sure. We've got abilities. We've got the druid. We've got spells. We've got more abilities and a couple more things of spells. We'll take a look at that in a bit. First and foremost, my biggest curiosity here is whether or not Daggerheart is actually just a different version of D&D, or if it's a completely different game altogether. Listen, if you want to support the channel and you want to support the local Torchlight that helped out, hit the link in my bio and grab a copy at Torchlight. Let's dig in. First glance, you got some pretty awesome art. They didn't skimp on that, that's for sure. Now, it looks like you have similar tenets to D&D, like rulings over rules, a golden rule. Looks like you have similar characters or classes. The first thing they do in Daggerheart is iterate what the world looks like. So you can see that they talk about a world overview with core realms, the mortal realm. They've got the hallows above, which sounds like it's kind of heaven. The circles below, which sounds pretty ominous. Gotta be the equivalent of hell. And then you've got the realms beyond. In here it talks about the elemental realm, the astral realm, and the Valley of Death, and countless others. So similar to D&D, but with its differences. Right off the hop, they recommend a session 0. Like I always say, session 0 is huge. The class options in Daggerheart are pretty interesting. You've got Bard, which we've heard of, Druid, Guardian, which is somewhat like a fighter or knight, it looks like. You got a Ranger, which you're familiar with, a Rogue, Seraph, which is not dissimilar to a Cleric, but looks like they've got wings. You've got a Sorcerer, a Wizard, and a Warrior. Moreover, you'll still choose your heritage. That's like race or species in D&D, it looks like. But there are some different races that they give you right off the hop, or whatever ancestry they give you right off the hop. And then you assign character traits. So this is a little different. You've got agility, strength, finesse, instinct, presence, and knowledge. At first glance, it looks like they play a lot into your moves. Looks like you choose your starting equipment and select a background. Looks also like you create your experiences, and then you have domain cards. To be honest, even the character sheet looks relatively similar, but it looks like Daggerheart is going to be a very different game. Each class seems to have domain cards, so embedding a card system in it definitely changes things. The classes seem to still have subclass, kind of like a 5th edition or prestige class thing from 3.5, but it seems like they've got some variants in there as well. They went back to basics where the Ranger has an animal companion, and it looks like the Ranger has an animal companion right off of level 1. Chapter 2, where we talk about playing an adventure. In Daggerheart, you have short and long rests, somewhat similar to 5th. And you still have a standard action or quick action and move action. The leveling system is definitely a little bit different though. At first glance, Daggerheart looks like a rebranded version of D&D. I give it 2 thumbs up. And quite frankly, if you want to take a look, like I said, jump at that link in the bio, purchase a copy, and check it out. Let me know your thoughts. If you've played Daggerheart before, drop comments in and let me know what I've missed. Because like I said, this is just a first glance and my first glance. So it looks like there's a treasure trove of fun here. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in.